Hello, Cooper Clever 1972 here, also known as Brian. So I'm back. I'm back to the films I've watched this week. I was busy watching the 31 Days of Halloween, the 31 Days of October marathon, Halloween marathon, where I watched 31 horror movies. And what I like to do is go to those DVDs and Blu-rays that I watch and watch the special features. And well, like one of them actually, Day of the Dead. I watched the special features and have yet to listen to the commentary. And it's pretty fascinating how they made that movie. They shot it in a mine near in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Where they store all kinds of stuff. And I listened to the commentary in Dawn of the Dead, and I think I found it an interesting commentary. So this commentary will probably be interesting as well. And Land of the Dead, the following film that was shot in Canada, I believe. And I met George Romero a few years ago, and he had moved up to Canada. I guess he had more freedom as a filmmaker up there, because he didn't want to deal with like Hollywood types. And with Land of the Dead, you had Dennis Hopper, so maybe he had to concede or something. I read like a little of the bio on Dawn of the Dead because it's a little older DVD. It's back in the early 2000s, and it has the text. Instead of like film, like video information, it also has text. Like how those old DVDs had lots of text. Well, it turns out I think he worked on one horror movie where he was cooperating with film Hollywood backers, and he lacked control of the film, and it was just a mess. I think, and I honestly can't remember what that film was, but I think he went back to just being who he was. Having control of his film, even though it might be on a lesser budget or whatever. Like Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead was going to be much more complex. Bigger sets and um, they had to cut it down by I think 3 million. The original budget was 6 million or 7 million, but they had to cut it down to three. But anyways, I find it an interesting movie. I think Dawn is probably my favorite of the three. Well, technically, there's more than three. There's Land of the Dead as the fourth, Diary of the Dead maybe is the fifth, and I think there's a sixth one, but I'm not sure. I think there's a sixth one. Night of the Living Dead is a classic, and I think Dawn of the Dead is my favorite. Day of the Dead's not too bad. Anyways, I'm digressing because this is not Halloween movies. This is films, just regular movies. Well, other movies than the horror. Um, anyways, I watched two films. Uh, the first film I watched was on Monday, November 26th. I watched it off of Mubi. These two films I watched off of Mubi, and they expired um, both days at the end of the day. So I watched this film that was made in Mongolia in 2009. Um, and maybe Germany backed it too. It's called The Two Horses of Genghis Khan, and it's directed by, I'm going to butcher the name here, Bayam Basuren Dava. It's Byam Basuren. That's the first name. Second name Davaa. And anyways, it's like a semi-documentary, semi-fiction movie, and this woman um, is searching for these. What is she searching for? Maybe she has like these violins she has to have made with horse heads on the end, like at the headstock of the violin. Headstock is, you have the um, I play with the guitar. I don't really know how to play it, but I experiment with it, and you can see it. You can hear it rather on my garage band songs. But what do they call it? The body, the bottom, the bass, the bridge. Well, the bridge is down there, but at the top of the guitar, where the neck is, where the top is, where you tune the strings. That's called the headstock. So in this particular movie, she's at the headstock are these horse heads. So I think she's looking for violins with the horse heads on it. Anyway, she's asking people if they know the song called Two Horses of Genghis Khan. And some people know it, but I think are afraid to sing it. And I think some of it, I think a fair amount of it is just regular people. It's not actors or anything like that. And she's dressed up in maybe some kind of Mongolian garb, some native dress. And, there's a series of incidents, like she's traveling with a bunch of people. I think it's a family, maybe some other people, and they're in a van and they get stuck in the mud. And at the start, she visits this orchestra in the capital of Mongolia, and I wish I could remember the title of the capital of Mongolia. It's Batul Ungar or something like that. Maybe somebody knows. You can put it down there. And anyways, I guess I can say. Well, should I say the end? I don't know how easy it is to access this movie, but how can I put this? I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know if anybody will be able to see a film like this because of the accessibility of it. So she goes into the wide open plains because Mongolia has these huge like deserts, but instead of deserts, it's lots of green, lots of green plains, green grassy plains with like small hills. And well, she meets somebody who knows the song the two horses of Genghis Khan. But I won't tell you how she finds this person, who this person is, and all that kind of stuff. And some people, I think, are afraid to sing it, maybe because it's a communist government and they're afraid of repercussions if they say something. And like you see a wedding ceremony, that's another thing you see in the film. You see a guy who's maybe he's selling pictures or paintings, but he has another profession at a market. And then you see on the plains, those, they're not teepees or wigwams, they're called yurts. But a friend of mine who's been around the world, he said, I think he said those, he did in a slideshow presentation of the places he's gone. He's been to places like Iran and North Korea, and he's been to Japan 4 times. And anyways, he's been to China and he's been to Mongolia. And I think he said those things aren't called yurts. They're sort of nomads. These Mongolians. They set up shop. Not set up shop. They dwell in a certain area of the plain for a certain amount of time during the year, and it's just like a tent or whatever. But I don't think it's called a yurt, even though they call it a yurt in the movie. Anyways, I thought it was a pretty good movie. Maybe it's not to everyone's liking, because it's more of a reflective and much more slower paced film. So I guess you had to be into that type of movies, into that type of movie. Um, um, so, oh, and at the end of the movie, um, the costumes and the instruments. I'm going to say this because I think it's an important thing to say that were used in the movie were destroyed by the government. You know, um, so it's a good thing that you can see this on film before they had taken it away and destroyed it. Not the film, but the costumes and the instruments they used to play the song. Um, Second movie I saw last night, Friday, November 30th. It's a film called Wild Guitars, directed by Ray Dennis Steckler. It came out in 1962. Cinematography second unit was by Vilmos Zsigmond, who a friend of mine on here on YouTube, I think really likes Vilmos Zsigmond, and I think he's the guy that did Close Encounters. But anyways, he's second unit on this movie, and in the credits, I was looking for his name at the start, and I couldn't find him. I saw the cinematographer at the start of the film, who's credited, but wasn't his name. And then at the end of the movie, there was his name, but they didn't call him Vilmos. They called him William Zsigmond. I don't know why, but maybe they thought the Vilmos was too foreign sounding. I don't know. But anyways, he was second unit on that. And the restoration, which a person I know here on YouTube might find interesting to know, was done by Nicholas Winding Refn, who directed Drive. Who another person on YouTube that I know favorite is his favorite film. So I guess Nicholas Winding Refn found this film significant to restore because it, like the on movie, it expired last night at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, 12 midnight Pacific. I guess Nicholas Winding Refn saw something important in this film to restore it, because the negative, I guess, wasn't in good shape, and there were problems with the film, so they had to restore it. And frankly, the film to me, I wasn't wild about it. Another YouTuber, I asked, and maybe he's watching this video right now, Mike, Great 1951. He's seen this movie, Wild Guitar, he says. I read his comment on Facebook. I guess he likes this movie. For me, this movie was okay. Good, but not great. Oh, and I got to give ratings to these films. I forgot to give a rating to the previous film, but let me get to this film first. So anyways, it's about this young kid named Eagle, Bud Eagle. That's his name, Bud Eagle. And at the start of the film, he's driving his motorcycle down the California coast with a guitar strapped to the side of it and a suitcase. And he ends up in Hollywood, and he's fumbling around, and he doesn't have a lot of money, and he just manages to be at the right place at the right time. And he gets on stage and he starts playing his guitar, becomes a big hit, and he's trying to get connected to this woman he's just met in Hollywood, L.A. And he has this manager who gets right at pounces on him the minute they find out he's a hit, and he takes care of his career. Like he buys him a new guitar, he gets him fancy clothes, he releases his records all over the U.S. He gets him television appearances, but he's scamming him too, I guess, because he's not giving him the money. He's making money off of him, and he's not giving Bud Eagle the money that he should be getting, um, and so Bud Eagle has to find a way to make things work for him, and um, find out a way to make a connection with this woman that he meets. I guess I'll leave it at that. So, anyways, the Two Horses of Genghis Khan. I'm out of 5 stars. 5 stars being really great movie. I'm gonna give it um, uh, maybe. Uh, I was thinking 4.5 stars, but maybe 4 stars is better. Um, Definitely is an excellent movie. And, I'm inclined to watch these foreign movies. I really like to watch these types of movies. Um, I guess I'll give it, boy, I don't know if I should give it 4.5 or 4 stars. Oh, man. Um, I know time's ticking by, and I'm thinking on. Let me come back just a second. I want to show you something anyway, so I'll be right back a second. Okay, I'm back. I guess I'll give it 4 stars. The Two Horsemen of Genghis Khan. So it's an excellent movie. Maybe not Lawrence of Arabia or Citizen Kane or Touch of Evil or Throne of Blood or Seven Samurai. Bicycle Thieves, great, but definitely a great movie, excellent film. And Wild Guitar, I'll give it 3 stars. It's a good film, but nothing to celebrate or whatever. Um, Sorry if some people feel more into it, Mike. I just can't. I just don't. I can't connect with it maybe the way you could. I don't know. Maybe you probably like. You say you like those teen kind of young people, 60-ish movies, 50-ish movies. It was entertaining, but it's not totally my cup of tea. Um, but that doesn't mean I wouldn't watch another one of those types of films. I just like watching movies. So, anyways, that does it for that. And then in terms of future videos, I have some movies that I'm borrowing from a friend of mine. He lent me this box set called Female Prisoner Scorpion, the complete collection, published by Arrow Video. It's this huge box set, and let me just show you it real quick. I know I'm going on really long here. I know I'm past 15 minutes. The clock started up again. I'm at 2 minutes, but I know it's more like 17 now. Anyways, so you got Female Prisoner Scorpion. I think that's the first one. You got these special editions, special features, rather. I'm not going to read all that, but I think it has reversible artwork. Yes, it does. Yes. See. So there's a reversible artwork there. I don't want to keep you too long here, but I'll show you this, and I'll just make a statement after that, or a few statements. Then you have Female Prisoner Scorpion, Jailhouse 41. I watched all the trailers that were on the first one. I collect a lot of Criterions, and people are telling me Arrow, like Aaron Penn is telling me Arrow is great, and my friend who lent me this Arrow, he's saying, there are other great companies besides Criterion. I don't know, but maybe one day I'll buy some Arrows, or I have some Kinos. I don't have any facets, but I did borrow the facets of the Decalogue a while back. Now I have the Decalogue on Criterion. Um, I know Aaron Penn said that the Decalogue on, I think it was Arrow, he said. I think it was Arrow. He said it was good on Arrow. Oh, I'm sorry. And this one is called Female Prisoner Scorpion Beast Stable. I think she's a prisoner, and the cops, she's always escaping, and the cops are after her. Something like that, according to these trailers I'm watching. I've only watched a little bit of, I watched the trailers with the first disc, and I just watched like a snippet of the starting of the first movie. Then you get this poster here. I want to watch all the special features too. Maybe, you know, I might, I might, I might. So you have this. If I can get it in frame here, it's all Japanese there, so you're not really, you can't really read anything, I don't think. And I wonder if I can show this. I think I can show this on YouTube. I think it's okay. Let me get it back there. So you got that, and then you get this book. Nice book here. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna scour the Blu-rays and it comes with Blu-rays and DVDs. Sort of reminds me of Zatoichi, which is a Criterion. I have that. I've shown it in my collection videos. I've only watched like the starting of one Zatoichi movie, but I think the packaging for the Zatoichi film is pretty good. Okay, so and then the other one he lent me was this, still in the wrap, Woman in Love by Ken Russell. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I'll watch that after I watch these. Also, I bought some Criterions at the Barnes & Noble sale. I bought them in South Burlington, Vermont. I bought 9, and there was one I thought I'd written on my iPhone to get, and I think I wrote it on my computer and it didn't transfer to my iPhone or whatever. Anyways, turns out it didn't come out until the following week, so I ordered it online, and it has to get here yet. So I'm waiting to do a video on that until it gets here. So look in the next coming days. You'll see a video, not tomorrow, probably on Sunday, because they don't mail on Sunday, but Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there. And I got something else too, besides Criterion. You'll see right away. You'll see it when you see the video. And in terms of other things too, when I get past these films that have been lent me, so I've got some stuff. I got, you know, there's always stuff to watch. I mentioned I like to do you know, films from places like Iran, the Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia, maybe. And you know, with my videos that I do, like certain types of videos, I put my GarageBand music at the start. Like with this one, I have one called Masters of Suspense, I think it's titled. And all my songs that you hear in my intros for these videos, I think I only have 2 intro GarageBand songs with the series I do, but the other one is the 31 Days of Halloween series, and the piece of music I used for that was They're Coming After You, which is another GarageBand song that's on my channel that you can hear the whole song on. So anyways, how this relates to what comes up in the future is like the Middle Eastern cinema and the African cinema and the Southeast Asian cinema. I have a piece of music, not that I really did any guitar or drums or keyboard or whatever on MIDI keyboard. It's a bunch of loops mixed together, and it sounds sort of like African Middle Eastern kind of sounding with drum, like conga drums and kind of Middle Eastern guitars. So I might use that as my intro. I might have an outro as well, and I think I can pinpoint some areas in that particular song and put part of it at the start and part of it at the end. And then I'm thinking maybe I'll do some Japanese cinema. It'll be separate from that. It'll be a separate series. And I have another YouTube video. The one for the Middle Eastern one, it's called "Cry for the Sky," and it goes further back in my YouTube channel history. I did my first album. They all are like clumped together. Those ones, and I did those as loops. They're not really songs I quote composed, with a guitar, or MIDI keyboard, or drums. They were done with loops on the GarageBand program itself. Anyways, with the Japanese films, if I do a series of Japanese maybe, or maybe Asian movies, I've got a one called Buddha Contemplates the Scenery. I put that video up twice. I don't know why. Oh, I know I put it up because I didn't know if enough people had seen it earlier in my history of YouTube videos. So I'd put it up, but even then, it's been a long time since it's been up on YouTube. It's still there. It's further back in time on my videos, but there's like two times where it's on my channel. But it's called Buddha Contemplates the Scenery, and I'm thinking of using that for the Japanese movies. Also, I think I'll finish off with this. I'm really going long with this video. I think I'm going close to half an hour now. But anyways, GarageBand. Maybe I should learn how to play the guitar or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess I like some. I'm listening to some of my music just to see how it sounds to me. And I'm listening to some of the stuff I've done recently in the past, like this year or like last year. I guess last year. Maybe I didn't really start doing music with the first guitar I bought until probably earlier this year, maybe not last year, even though I bought it in September of last year. But anyways, I don't know if all my GarageBand songs sound that fantastic or not. I'm just experimenting. Another friend of mine is saying, like, if I learned to play guitar, maybe I'd be caught like in a rut of like thinking in a certain pattern of how to play the guitar, and it would like, because I had like the freedom to think outside the box this way. If you follow what I'm saying. Anyways, I'm working on some GarageBand songs, and also I got some hard drive space emptied off of my computer. I did that. I went to the Apple store, and they got about 17, 18 gigs empty. But of course, I'm filling it up with songs. I'm filling it up with this video, and maybe I'm getting close to 5 gigs left. I'm not sure, but and I guess one last thing I'll say. Oh, and I'll put up the. By the way, I'll put up the usual notices saying check out my GarageBand videos and check out my blog poolsofvisionsblogspot.com. The other thing is, I've toyed with this concept. Maybe I'll try live streaming. I've never tried it, and I was looking on my channel, on like Creator Studio, whatever it is, and I guess you can get on it easy. You just have to like apply for it. Like I think you have to give them your phone number or something. They check you out if you're okay. Maybe it takes like 24 hours, and then you can stream live. I'm not sure if I'll do it or not, but anyways, okay, so that does it. I'll probably be back within the next few days because I'm going to be showing the Blu-rays and DVD that I picked up this past Black Friday and the Blu-ray I ordered in the mail. All of them Criterions except for one. So expect that in the next few days. So, anyways, nice to see everybody. The comments are welcome, and I'll see you soon. Bye.